Hi Virgo, welcome. Virgo, this is going to be your spiritual tarot reading and we're going to go ahead and get straight into it. So, Virgo, your first three cards out are the card of Saturn, Uranus, and Pluto. Very interesting combination here for you. Saturn is talking about being disciplined, structured with your time, paying attention to the task at hand. It talks about ambition and going towards your ambitions and needing to pull on your strength as a Virgo, keeping yourself organized and on task. I keep getting the phrase on task. You also have the card of Uranus and Pluto, which is really interesting because this is very erratic, unplanned energy. So I think that's why there's that emphasis on staying on task, because as we proceed through these astrological alignments, things may feel a little bit off to you, all right? Because a lot of times this card talks about experimentation, expecting the unexpected, a little bit of an erratic energy, right? So you may notice like people around you or events around you just seem a little bit unpredictable, okay? So when the world feels unpredictable, what's the best thing you can do, Virgo? Rely on your own predictability, right? You don't ever have control over others anyways, or the outside world, but you do always have control over your internal world and what you draw into you via law of attraction. And so there's an emphasis on that. This also talks about transformations, cycles ending, new things beginning, changes coming through, a very experimental and exciting energy, right? Like, not all surprises are bad. There might be some good surprises in store for you as well as we continue to progress through April and May. But let's get some more cards out and see. And I want to say that, right, when I was meditating before starting the reading, I was getting a Bruno Mars song, just the one lyric where he says, 24 karat, 24 karat, head to toe soap player, put your pinky ring up to the moon. I'm sure you know that song. Anyway, so they're highlighting finances, the financial structure. There may be some changes in that as well. Also another reason to stay disciplined, to stay structured, okay? And let's see what else the Osho Zen has to say for you. Also, this is Scorpio energy here. You could have that in your chart, Virgo, or be dealing with someone who has it in their chart. Now, how about this? You got the card of friendship, friendliness. And the reason why this is sticking out to me so much is because I just did the All Zodiac readings live on Sunday. Check it out if you haven't yet. And this is the card that popped out for you, and I put it back in the deck because I wasn't ready for it, but I took note of it, and it's the same exact card a few days later comes out for you. So they're highlighting friendship, your social circle. There might be an opportunity to network within that arena. And I'm also getting friendliness is your friend, right? So the more you can bring that friendly, like approachable nature to a situation, Virgo, the smoother things will go for you, all right? There might also be some changes around your relationships or friendships in particular. So let's go further into it and see. We're going to look at the headspace first and what you need to know. Then we're going to look at your heart space, what's going on with you emotionally, and then the big spiritual picture. So, Virgo. And I'm also getting messages around a timetable or a time crunch. There might be some sort of timetable that you're on, or maybe need to stick with during this time frame. Again, there's that emphasis about, staying organized and timeliness. And then you have the Fool in reverse, the Queen of Swords in the headspace, King of Wands. Let me move these around. I'm not going to be reading reversals. One more. I feel like a lot of you have been thinking about some changes that you want to make in your life, right? And now some of you, this is related to, again, financial structures. Other of you, it's related to your social network or your friendship group. And for a good group of you, it's both. You know, changes coming through on both, in both of those avenues. But there seems to be a lot of contemplation going on about taking some sort of risk here. And yet at the same time, it doesn't feel like a risk, right? I'm getting the word calculated risk. So there's something here that maybe you're trying to launch or trying to move forward, but you have thought it through. You've given a lot of thought to what you want, to where you want to see things head. And so it is risk. There's a little bit of risk involved, I guess, but for the most part, I feel like Virgo, you have this handled as you're showing up as very confident, and not letting your fears get the best of you. Now, you do have the Nine of Swords here, which could be a little bit of a play on the mind, right? Especially during the nighttime. Pay attention to where your thoughts go when you're tired, Virgo. A lot of us go into negative thinking when our brain is tired, because it does take some effort to stay in alignment, to think positive. And when our brain gets fatigued or exhausted, particularly towards late night, it tends to get a little bit lazy and allow your brain to entertain thoughts that you would never entertain during the daytime. You know what I mean? And I'm hearing daytime, nighttime. Like there's two versions of you showing up. There's like the daytime version of you and the nighttime version of you. And that's why they say, you know, the freaks come out at night. I don't know. Like our shadows tend to come out at night. And, you know, my father used to tell me, and he's a Virgo too. He used to say, you know what, Dana, nothing good happens after midnight. So always come home before then, because it's like people do crazy things when they're fatigued. But what I'm getting here, Virgo, is that pay attention, you know, and know when it's time to cut it off, to shut it off, to go to bed, to stop entertaining those thoughts that you know don't serve you, that you know don't feel good, that does not help you. But it's habitual, so it's easy to do. And again, when the mind is tired, it likes to go towards worrisome thoughts. You ever like go to lay in bed and then all of a sudden you remember everything that you forgot to do that day, or everything you have to do next week, or everything you're not and everything you thought you would be, and you know, you go down that like anxious trail of never-ending worry. Yeah, for sure. I've been there too. I'm not a Virgo, but I understand that energy. But it's like in the big scope of things, in the reality, right? That everything really is working out for you. And yes, there are some unexpected movements here, but this is helping, I guess, for you to get a better grasp on how to stay in control of self when it feels like things are out of control, you know, or out of your hands. So let's go a little bit deeper into the emotional space then, Virgo. Oh, you got all your cards out at once, and you're the first one out. The Hermit, the Nine of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. So there seems to be a lot of, again, reflective energy, but it's showing it to me as nighttime energy. But take it as it resonates. It can also just be talking about, you know, your inner dialogue. So there seems to be a goal that you want to go towards here, Virgo. And again, some of you, this is related to your financial institutions or what it is that you're wanting to go for, maybe even entrepreneurship for some of you. But there seems to be a lot of contemplation around future planning, all right, and thinking about your future. And then at the same time feeling like there's barriers here, or that, you know, things may get in your way, or, oh, that's what it is. Let me get my words straight. It's almost like one aspect of you sees all of the potential, and when you're feeling your best, that's where you're at, and you're actually calling in that potential to you in that space. But then, for whatever reason, when your mind gets tired or exhausted, and you overthink, it starts to go towards the potential problems, you know, and feeling like, okay, well, how am I going to jump over that hurdle? And, you know, I may not get to the goal that I want. And you're starting to create barriers, which is throwing resistance on your trail, which to you would feel like stress, right? And stress is an indicator that you're thinking thoughts that go against your desire, and that those thoughts are not helpful to you. So pay attention to your emotional responses, and that's going to help guide you, Virgo, on how to think better thoughts and therefore create a more secure and stable life for yourself. But it's just like, it's a thought process, right? Give me more on the Nine of Wands. It could also feel too that like maybe you have some lofty goals here or things that you want to do, and you have maybe a naysayer in your environment or someone who seems to put up more blocks than they do support, all right? And maybe some evaluation around that connection or relationship. But for a lot of you, I'm getting this as more of an internal thing, not necessarily to do with another person, even if it appears that way. It's more so your own mindset. Because you have the Six of Wands here, which means the only thing standing in the way of your success is yourself. You know? And also, by the way, if you are experiencing a great deal of success and other people are aware, and I don't want you to get caught on this part, because it doesn't matter what other people think. There may be someone who's observing that, Virgo, and for whatever reason they're skeptical or, you know, jealous maybe of the attention that you're getting or the success that you're having. And again, I don't want you to fixate on that, because it will pull you into a negative space if you overthink that, right? So like, who cares who's happy for you, who's not happy for you? All that matters is that you're happy for you, you know? So let's go further into the big spiritual picture. So you have the Two of Cups, the Two of Pentacles. Ooh, no wonder I got the song 24 Carats. The Nine of Cups, which is the card of success here. The Four of Wands. So, Virgo, let the onlookers look. I might title this reading that. Let them look, right? Because I feel like the reason I got the song 24 Carats in the air is because, like, literally, that's what's available to you. A financial abundance. Now, some of you are looking around and like, okay, where is it, Dana? I don't see it. And I'm not talking about the physical manifestation of abundance, although yes, that can be yours. I'm talking about the energy of abundance, the feeling of abundance, and you can cultivate that within yourself, by yourself, right? By allowing yourself to feel what it feels like to feel comfortable, to feel secure, to excuse yourself from needing to worry or stress over things that you don't even have control over anyways. It's about manifesting the feeling of abundance that brings about the physical manifestation of abundance. So there's success that wants to come through here for you. Now, you being a person of free will must get into receptive mode in order to manifest that beyond the emotional, energetic abundance. But I feel like you're going to be able to do that as long as you keep your eyes on the prize, and that when you feel your mind start to go to a negative space, that you feel the emotion of that. And when you feel the negative emotion of that it signals to you that that's not a thought train that you want to continue to think, and point yourself in a different direction, and watch as things begin to change in your favor here. Those things are always working in your favor. It just depends on whether or not you're receptive enough to understand that or to realize that. But you get what I mean. They're also highlighting a relationship, a significant relationship, could be a friendship for some of you, where it's tied to your success. So again, you may be networking with people and working with people. And as you build those connections, you now begin to build bridges towards what you want. And this is true. Like people underestimate the power of who you know, but you know, a lot of the projects and avenues I went down in my own career was in part by who I knew and developing those relationships. So I feel like that's here as well. But there's also, you know, messages about love and relationships too. So there may be some things that are up in the air in that regards, or that need to be figured out still. Again, changes coming through that arena. But you end on the Four of Wands. So I don't feel like that's going to last too long before you land on your feet, Virgo, and things begin to feel a little bit more stable for you, not just in your security, but also within your relationships and friendships. It's like having a reason to celebrate here, and no longer kind of needing to go back and forth, or this yin yang thing that you do internally that kind of splits your energy. It's like, there's a reason to celebrate. What is the Four of Wands? Yeah. So it's funny because it's like things are coming together for you, but yeah, it still feels a little bit dicey to you. In particular, when it comes to matters of the heart here, there seems to be a choice that needs to be made here. And they're saying to go with whatever feels the best to you, Virgo, and you know what feels the best to you. Don't over fixate on something or obsess over something. What is this? Oh, goodness. Some of you, there is a fixation here on and needing to let go of the past. So there's something here from the past that needs to be let go of, that I feel like you are going into the art of surrender in regards to. You have two cards of letting go. So I'm really happy to see this. So it seems that you were stuck on something, you know, kind of in a toxic way. Maybe that's where your mind is going at night, or was going at night. And it's like getting to this point of like, gosh, I need to let it go. You know, when you've dwelled on something long enough. I had one of these epiphanies the other day. And you're like, gosh, I'm causing my own misery. Like, why do I keep thinking about this? Well, one of the reasons you keep thinking about things you don't want is because you've trained your brain to do that. Society does that to us. It makes us feel unworthy, and it almost seems logical to think about things we don't want because everybody's doing it. But that doesn't mean that it's right. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't mean that that's how it was supposed to work. The other thing that makes you think about things you don't want is the law of attraction. So if you're in a vibration of, say, pessimism or worry, law of attraction is going to keep matching you up with thoughts and experiences that match that. And it's going to keep gaining momentum until you do something to stop the momentum, which for a lot of people is sleep. But you can also meditate. You can also pivot your mind. But you have to be trained in doing those things. And if you haven't practiced that, then the best advice I can give you is to go to sleep so you can shut your brain off and try and start fresh. But even when you wake in the morning, your brain's going to want to grab a hold of the day before and whatever vibration you are in and perpetuate it unless you get out ahead of it. And how do you get out ahead of it? By consciously making the decision that I'm not going to continue that today, by meditating first thing in the morning to clear your mind, and staying cognizant of your thought processes until it gets a little bit easier and a little bit easier to think good thoughts, which law of attraction will also help you do that. So if you're in a high vibration, you're in a feeling good space, and you're staying there, law of attraction is going to give you more good feeling thoughts, more good feeling thoughts, more good feeling experiences. And that's how you create positive momentum. So that's what's kind of needing to happen here, so that you can let yourself off the hook here and truly surrender or release something that you know has been toxic for you for a while. So let's go into the guidance then. Of course, it says ground yourself. That's how we started the reading. It says being distracted, unfocused, tired, irritated, and impatient are signs that you are not grounded. Now's the time to become centered and allow Spirit to help you ground yourself and reconnect with the divine. So again, an encouragement here to stay your grounded self during this time frame and don't let yourself get swept away in the energy of what's happening right now, and all will be well, Virgo. So very beautiful reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to leave it there for now. Zodiac signs you may have in your own chart or in the chart of the person or people you're dealing with. I've got Capricorn, Libra, Taurus, Virgo, Aries, Leo, Sag, and Scorpio energy here. But take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it did resonate, please let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to give me a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Also, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram for more fun stuff. I do have content and videos. I do go live on Facebook quite a bit. All of it linked in the description box below. Tarot Time with Dana is the name of all my social media links. Also linked in the About section. Otherwise, I'm wishing you the very, very, very best, Virgo. And until next time, my friends, namaste.